Hey, my lovies, this is a pickapile for your career in 2026. We're going to get right into it. We're going to see what changes you'll see in your career in 2026. And make sure that before you pick the pile, you like, subscribe, and comment what pile you were so eager to choose. Hi, my lovely pile number one. We're going to go ahead and we're going to begin what 2026 brings in for you, what changes you can see in your career in 2026. So let's see what's happening for pile number one in 2026 regarding your career. These are not pre-shuffled. Before we move forward, please like and subscribe. It feels like for this pile, there is a change that your career is going through. And the reason why is because something wasn't working for you anymore. So there's something here where something doesn't fulfill you in the way that it used to. And you're starting to think really, really long term. And it's causing you to make a change in 2026. So 2026, you're making some changes to your schedule, changes to the things you want to do. And the Knight of Cups reminds me of your love and your passion and your connection to your career. And for me, it just seems like it feels like you're settling. And I don't mean settling like this is a bad thing. I mean you're settling in a way that feels comfortable to you, or you have settled in the past in a way that was right at that time. But in 2026, you are looking to feel more poured into by your career. You're looking to have more of a connection to your career. You are looking to move towards the direction of your soul calling, your mission, your reason, the reason that you're here. It feels like perhaps you were working a job or you were dealing with certain circumstances based on what was your responsibilities, the fact that bills needed to be paid, or maybe you did something that, you went to school for. Maybe you did something that someone else told you to do. You're ripping away from what others may envision for you, or what this old version of yourself envisioned for yourself, and you're ripping through the seams. It just reminds me of you kind of ripping the mask off. And it doesn't mean that you don't love what you do. It means there are changes you're going to be making that make life feel more worth your while. There's excitement in 2026 coming back into your career. We have here the King of Pentacles. So there are opportunities that come in to your life in 2026 by people that you aspire to be like, or people that have the ability to connect you with the right opportunities. So this could be a management group. It could be a middleman. It could be someone who sees your potential or sees your talent. There's help here. And sometimes divine really does use other people in the form of blessings. So 2026 for you, you're around the right people. You receive opportunity to build through networking, through someone that you know, through someone that sees all that you can be. This has to do with funding or putting in a good word for you. There's also here, if you're looking to open up a business or a nonprofit organization, or if you're looking to go to school, or if you're looking to make an investment in your career of some sort, the funding is no problem. So whatever you've been wondering about, will I have the money to do this? Or can I do this? Can I afford this? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. And for this pile, it kind of reminds me of, for some of you, you are artists. And art doesn't necessarily mean a paintbrush. Artist is just someone who creates a vision that they had in their heart into life. You are a creative. You're someone who's really figuring themselves out, and you're being told to pay attention to what you do when you want to feel good, or what you do in your spare time. For a lot of you, it's like you can turn the music on and you just get in your zone with something that you love to do, pile one. And it feels like just the fact that this is a bowl that you fill with ingredients reminds me of you creating. You could be a baker, you can be a fashion designer, you can be an actual writer, a painter, a singer, someone who writes poetry, someone who cleans homes, someone who decorates homes. There's something here about you using your level of expertise in order to connect on a different level and create something special, create something new. And it feels like this could be linked to something you've been wanting to do for a really long time, or something you've really been trying for a while, or something that has always been in the back of your head, in the back of your mind, where it's kind of like, wait, no, like, hold on, like, this is what I love to do. This reminds me also of the fact that it doesn't matter, who believes in you. It doesn't matter how many no's you get. It doesn't matter who doesn't believe in your vision. Keep on showing up is what this pile needs to know. You need to continue to show up. This pile is really beautiful because it reminds me of the fact that, like, you may navigate through the world not even recognizing your potential. I'm getting goosebumps, so you don't think I'm lying. These are literal goosebumps. Obviously with ingrown hairs because I shaved my arms, but that's another conversation for another time. I'm getting goosebumps and I'm getting the chills and I'm getting the urge to cry. And this pile has gone through some stuff. And what I will say for this pile, you're a star. You're a star. It doesn't matter where you are. Know that you're meant to be something great. For some of you, you're going to be in the spotlight. You're going to be on a TV show or on a podcast, or you're going to be, put on a billboard. I mean, there's so many of you who watch these videos, but it's that level. Like, you're going to be promoted in some way that provides you with recognition. And this recognition is seen through many different people. Like, this isn't a few people that recognize you. This is a shit ton of people that recognize you. And to be honest with you, you don't even realize how great you are because you're so modest. You're so humble. I have, friends who they go by, oh, don't be humble because, know that you're that girl or know that you're that guy. And then I also have friends who are kind of like, no, you should always be humble because you never know. I'm here to meet you in the middle with that. Yes, you should always be humble. You should never think you're better than anyone. But your modesty, your humility, regardless which way it goes, you end up being the star of the show. Like, you don't even have to do too much. If you watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I will give you an example. Taylor Frankie Paul, I think is her name. She shows up in sweats and slippers all the time, like on the show, and all the other girls have like a full face of makeup and a whole bunch of dresses. And I'm not, I'm not here to talk down on anybody. I'm a fan of all of them. They're all pretty cool to me. But like, she shows up and she's just her, and the fans fucking love her. And this is what that reminds me of. Like, you don't have to even, like, you can go out of your way to hide from folks, like not being recognized or I'm just going to pretend, I didn't see that person. I don't want to say hello. You may be an introvert. You may be someone who doesn't even like attention, but babes, attention follows you. Like Cardi says, am I the drama? And it's you don't even look for attention. You're gonna have it regardless. It doesn't seem like you are someone who is interested in even being recognized. You kind of just want to chill. You're pretty zen, you're pretty laid back. But this is in fact what makes you win. You're a winner. You're literally a natural born winner. And it just is what it is. And so some of the changes in your life in 2026 regarding your career is the spotlight being on you, opportunity, networking. There's a change in your career. You're making a huge shift in your career. I feel like for a lot of you, this shift involves you being under a microscope, maybe being under a testing period or a probation period at work, or things of that nature. I definitely see you choosing things that connect you to your core values, to what you believe in. For a lot of you, like I said, you're going to be kind of in your zone, just creating, when you were in elementary school, I don't know. I mean, again, there's so many different people from so many different places of the world, but when you were in grade school, elementary school, we call it here in the US, and at least in my elementary school, they would have us write on lined paper, and they'd be I forgot what it was called, but they basically give you 60 seconds and you write whatever comes into your mind. You just write it. You just write what comes into your mind. And it's kind of a way to kind of pull out what's really in your subconscious. The reason I bring this situation up, the reason I bring that up is because if you can just chill and do what you love to do, what would it be? If you're having a bad day, what do you run to go do? What feels like you're being productive, but it doesn't require much work for you? It's just who you are. It's embedded in who you are. I'm going to give you an example. Are you the person that all your friends vent to? Perhaps this means that you were made to be a mom. Perhaps this means you were made to be, a psychologist or a therapist. Things like that. What is so linked to your mission, to your heart, to your soul, to your spirit? 2026 opens that up for you. It opens up like a can of worms, and you become more confident in what you do. You become more confident in who you are 2026 because of the applause, because of the support, because of the opportunity. And you can't run from it. It's going to keep re-meeting you. For some of you, it's maybe you wanted to open up a business and you've been saying this for the last 13 years. 2026 is the year where you're kind of you know what, let's get it going, because it's going to keep on knocking on my door until I open the door, because this is my calling. All right. We have the hermit mode. So you're going to be in your zone. You're going to be chilling. You're going to be working on you. You may be in school. You may be taking some courses. The hermit mode speaks about keeping to yourself. It speaks about shining bright. It speaks about pouring into you. It speaks about taking all you've got, all you've learned, all that knowledge, and pouring it into something beautiful. For some of you, it's going to go something like, okay, I didn't do all that or go through all of this to only come this far. Let me pour this into who I truly am. And we have here the Wheel of Fortune. You're going to be very MIA as well, 2026. Pile 1, you're going to be extremely MIA in 2026. You're going to be so focused to the point where it's it's all about you. It's all about your appearance. It's all about your brand. It's all about what's meant for you. It's all about taking time for yourself. It's all about taking risks. So you're going to be taking some risks, risks that change your life. Pile number 1. Just keep that in mind. We're going to be using a deck that I don't use regularly, but it's one of my favorite when it comes to career readings. And I'm going to use it because there are 50 cards and they connect heavily to the future of your career. All right, so let's get into pile number 1 and what they need to know regarding their career. Pile number 1. RuPaul. So if you don't know, RuPaul is a drag queen. And let's not focus too much on the politics of it. Let's focus on the reality of it. So RuPaul is someone who started from nothing, who started from if we're going to be really, really honest, drag queens obviously they've not been justified for a really long time. For a long time, it was taboo. For a long time, people shook their head at it. There was judgment. You get what I'm saying? This reminds me of you, pile 1, because your art, who you are, you may feel like, okay, where do I fit in? Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't do this the way that other people do it. Like, does that make me different? I saw something on Instagram Reels the other day as I was doom scrolling, which I shouldn't be doing. And there was this hairdresser, and her specialization is cutting off split ends. Now, granted, the girl cuts off like this much of split ends and like she gets scissor happy, and that's fine. But she said to her audience, she said, I was really afraid of specializing in something because I just wanted to be a hair content creator and I wanted that to bring my sales up. And she said the best thing that I did was specializing, because when you specialize in something specific, it kind of clears your route, separate from the crowd, separate from what everyone else is doing. For example, you can be an artist, right? You're a painter, right? And you're kind of like, but I only paint like, on a canvas with this kind of paint, and I only draw angels, right? I only draw angels. And you're kind of like, how the heck am I supposed to pull people in? I don't draw anything else. Like, that's what I'm called to draw. And then you specialize in it and you get $1 million deal from the Met Museum in New York City to draw an angel canvas. You only draw angels. That's the only thing you draw. But there's, I think, close to 8 billion people now in the world. You get what I'm saying? Even if it is only 3% of the 8 billion people in the world, that is still like $240 million people. That's still 240 million people. If you make even what, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get the gist. We're not going to get into the mathematics because, but do you see what I'm getting at? It doesn't matter. Specialize. Be different. Be who you are. Tailor conventions to suit you. So 2026, you're guided to be in rooms that resonate with you, resonate with who you are. Don't wear a mask. Don't try to dim your own light. We have a showstopper, never stop showing up. Do not stop showing up. Do not give up. This pile, you're gonna win. Every single person who chooses this pile is going to win big. You are the underdog. You're the goat. You're the black sheep. You're the person that is chosen. And you know what's so ironic about you being chosen, pile 1, is the fact that nobody else thinks you are. That's the key. That's how you'll know this is your pile. No one else thinks you're chosen. Shit. You don't think you're chosen at some point. Now we have Tyra Banks. Not another showstopper. I'm telling you, you're going to be in the spotlight. I'm trying to explain this to you. Listen, we have a learn to be a natural. So again, you may be an introvert. You may even suffer from certain feelings of not being enough, of not being supported. Maybe you don't receive support. Maybe you come from a broken family or a family of toxic dynamics. Maybe you come from a family that really didn't go after the things that they wanted to go after. You're breaking the cycles. So we have here signature walks include well-timed pivots. So all about the way that you bring things to life, in the sense that you must be willing to plan. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Again, you must be willing to plan. You must be willing to execute things in a visionary but very calculated way. Model your business model. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're a part of, you must show your experience. You must be vulnerable in that. You are connected to your mission, to your career in a very vulnerable way. Be vulnerable. And we have here Steven Spielberg. Take your medium to the maximum. So the thing that makes you you comes from your connection to the world and the way you connect in general, your divinity. The sky is not the limit, it's a setup. So pile one again, it's like, it's not that I wouldn't say you kept yourself small, but you, again, for some of you, you don't even realize how amazing you are, or you might try to undermine yourself, or you're just super modest or super humble. So like you don't really pop your shit. Excuse my French. But here you are. And it's kind of like, you're going to get here and you're going to be like, what? And then you get there and there's even more. And you're kind of like, wait, what? Like, am I living? Is this real life? Pinch me. Is this real life? And then we have every Zeitgeist needs a close-up. Zeitgeist? I don't know how to say that word. I don't know what the word means. We're going to search it actually. Okay, so a Zeitgeist is basically the defining of a mood or the defining spirit of a particular period of time. So basically your beliefs. We have every Zeitgeist needs a close-up. So you really are going to have to, like, close up. You may be behind camera. You may be journaling. You may be very vulnerable. You may be having to make connections in 2026 that really make you feel naked. When you feel naked, it means your soul. It means your spirit. It means people see you for who you truly are. And that's the way that you'll be able to connect. All right, pal one. I want to get spiritual messages for you. For sure. And I want to know what else there is. So I'll meet you at the extended version. It's a very small fee. You could just click the link below and it'll take you directly there. But we're going to get into some spirit messages for pile number 1 for 2026. All right. Hi, my lovely pile number 2. I hope that you are doing well, my love. We're going to go ahead and we're going to begin. This is for pile number 2. What 2026 will be like for you in your career. 2026 for pile number 2. You're going to be making a lot of decisions. And it feels like you're going to be doing a lot of things at once. So for your career in 2026, it looks like you're going to be involved in many other things. You may be going through a pregnancy during 2026. You may be watching this pregnant. You may be trying to get pregnant. This is a confirmation. I know this is a career reading, but this is confirmation. If you've been looking to get pregnant or if you've been trying to get pregnant, you will. Regardless of the fact that Empress really does talk about creativity. It talks about creating. It talks about really planting seeds and watching them grow. It speaks about, again, like having your hand in so many different things. There's a lot of decision making that is going to be had in 2026 for this pile. You're going to be making a lot of decisions, but you're going to, again, be so busy with so many different things. Like for some of you, it'll be raising a family. Some of you will be in a 9 to 5 while working on your career. Some of you will, there's this energy here about you doing more than one thing at the same time, about you kind of focusing on more than one thing at the same time, really being busy, but being productive as well. We have here school. So some of you may be teachers, some of you may be leaders, maybe in a management position, or some of you are looking towards that. When it comes to your career, again, so some of the careers here are nurse, doctor, teacher, lawyer, it could be medicine, it could be science, it can be definitely something that requires you to either go to school for or learn it in a book, learn it by doing, learning it by practice. Definitely something that you have to be qualified for in some way, shape, or form. Now, with that being said, 2026 speaks about the fact that you're going to be learning a lot of things. There's this energy here about you shifting back and forth between a student and a teacher. So again, regardless of what your job may be or what career you're currently in, there's this energy of you may be locked in a specific job or you may work a specific thing, but in the meanwhile, you're also going to be starting another thing. You're going to be doing another thing. And that could be being a mom, being a journalist, being, an entrepreneur. There's this energy here about you doing more than one thing at the same time. Now, I will say the following as well. For those of you who are stuck between two different lanes, stuck between two different passions, there's this energy of you being able to do both. Now, what I will say is the following. Some of you guys don't want to do both. Some of you guys want to leave something completely behind and move forward with something new that will move forward in a positive way. Now, if you are someone who wants to do both, I see you doing that. It's going to resonate differently for everybody. Every part of the reading won't be for everybody. Now, I'm also picking up on the fact that some of you are getting your groove back. You may be a new time dad, a new time mom. Maybe you just graduated school. Maybe you could even be watching this and you've already retired. And now you kind of want to do something. You kind of just want to keep busy. You kind of want to dive into your passions. And so when it comes to your life in general, it feels like you're going to be getting back into your groove. And again, if you've already graduated, if you've already had a career, you're becoming a student again. This could also be something linked to you wanting to be promoted, or you going through that leader position, that managerial position, that authoritative figure position, and you're kind of learning the ropes. You're learning something new. I feel 2026, you're going to be in training for something, whether it be you're in your job or in this new career choice, or just dipping and dabbing into both. Maybe you're doing both, right? But you're definitely learning so many new things. You definitely feel like a student in 2026. And again, I'm sorry if you're not a mom or a dad. And I keep saying that. The reason I keep saying it is because of a lot of you are parents or new time parents, or will be juggling, being a parent and doing this. Now, for those of you who are not pregnant, who don't have children, or who will not be pregnant in 2026, there's this energy of, again, kind of, basically fertilizing the soil and really making something from scratch while also still having your foot in something else. So there's a lot here. For those of you who do own businesses, you can own a spa, you can own, a restaurant, something that is yours. There's this energy of you branching out, of you doing more than one thing, of you going further and doing something else as well. So there's a lot here about being in between two lanes, or being in two lanes. The Two of Swords represents also decision making concerning where to lay your roots and maybe what to go to school for. So for those of you who don't have a family, who aren't looking to have a family at this moment, or even if you do, it may resonate in a way where you're looking to learn something, you're looking to take a course, you're looking to do your bachelor's, you're looking to finish your master's, and you may be trying to decide, what you want to major in, what you want to go to school for. I do see you making that decision. And between me and you, I mean, I don't work for registrar or admissions in any school, but I've been to school many times. And if you are having trouble, this is just a side note, if you're having trouble deciding what you want to go to school for, remember that you can have a major and a minor, and you could have a double major as well. Like when I went to school, I did a double major because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I did accounting, and then I did politics, economics, and law. Later on, it was too much for me, and I decided to go towards politics, economics, and law. But I had friends who did double major and a double minor. And so there's this message here about the fact that, again, you can do more than one thing at once. And there will only be a few of you watching this that will decide one thing in its essence, just one thing. So just keep that in mind. We have here the Hanged Man. So some of you guys may have been waiting a while to do this, or you kept leaving it off in general. And it feels like you're finally putting that pep in your step. And I'm really here for it. I'm really here for it because this cultivates movement. This cultivates a lot of movement. And it feels like for a while, you just weren't sure. You weren't sure how to do it. You felt like it would be too much. It wasn't the right time, But now we have here that knowledge. For some of you, you may have been working for a large corporation or a firm or a large facility where someone has been trying to appoint you to a new position, or someone has been trying to get you to go towards a new position, and you're kind of like, I can't do it right now, like so much going on at home, I'm doing this, I'm balancing this out, there's so much, like I don't think I could do more. I don't think that I can have so much on my plate. There's this energy here of the fact that, and I giggle because it's ironic, it's like now you're ready. Like now you're ready to move forward with something. You are also being told that for you, pile number 2, making this decision is going to change your life, and it's going to provide you with what you feel like you've been missing for such a long time. For a lot of you, pile number 2, and this is just an example, you could have been wanting to do something for such a long time, and it just, time started to pass by, and either you forgot about it, or you couldn't do it, or you couldn't afford it, or you couldn't do this, and now is the right time. And I love that, and it's going to change your life. So just keep that in mind. So there's this message here also that speaks about the fact that 2026, you're going to be locked in. So for those of you who are single, you're going to kind of be in this solitude where it's all about your career. But also those of you who aren't single in 2026, it feels like you may have like an office at home, or like your own personal sanctuary at home, where it's like you're going to have the open space to kind of stay to yourself sometimes, even if you don't have those rooms, whatever, because everyone's situation is different. It feels like no matter what, you're going to have time for yourself. And that's why I said there's so many different things going on that you're going to have to kind of rearrange your schedule and really focus on taking some time out for yourself. During this time, you're going to be building, you're going to be working on applications, there's a lot of paperwork here for this pile as well, a lot of paperwork. Now, what I will say for this pile as well, which I love, is this cowboy hat, cowgirl hat, whichever one, resonates with you. It reminds me of like party vibes as well. And this reminded me here where it's like, you're going to be hard at work, but you will have times where it's like, okay, let's let's get those concert tickets. Like, let's go to that event. Like, I have a free weekend. Some of you may be in law school as well, or in med school, and really, or studying like for major exams. And you're going to be like, listen, I have a weekend free in March. Like, let's go to NOLA. Let's go to Thailand. Like, there's a lot of that happening as well. But during this 2026 year, there's going to be a lot of solitude in building. You will also be focusing financially on saving, but also investing. It feels like you're going to not be penny pinching. I love the word though. You're going to be very, very sure about where all of your money is going. Also where all of your time is going. This pile seems very mature. And it doesn't matter what age you are. You could be 21 or you could be 41. You could be 61. It doesn't matter. But this pile, their very essence in 2026, you're not fucking around. Excuse my French. You're not playing around. This is what it is, and you're focused. Like, you are so focused. And it goes into very fast movement towards the middle of the year. Around June through August, there's a lot of movement. Like, there's a lot going on. But mostly we have the Two of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune. This speaks about mostly being a lot of fast movement with a lot of risk taking. I want to focus on these two last tarot cards before we get on to the spiritual messages and what you need to hear. I really want to talk about these cards because this is a vast representation of movement, of speed, of really quick speed as well. But this speaks about risk taking. It speaks about launching. It speaks about starting. It speaks about new beginnings. It speaks about taking leaps of faith. It's basically when you're like jumping off a cliff in Cabos in Mexico. And you're like, whew, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're jumping, but you are trusting your wings. You're trusting what you have within you. This Two of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune speaks about taking risks, a lot of risks in 2026, being involved in many different streams of income, but also being involved in a lot of circles, kind of like navigating through different circles, having different friend groups. But these circles that you're navigating, it's like getting your foot in the door, like being known. Some of you, this is a very specific message, are trying to innovate something, trying to sell something. And the answer is absolutely. The answer is yes. Like, it's going to go very well because you're going to be able to provide people with something they hadn't seen before. For example, I don't know. I try to connect on a level that, you know, we all understand each other. In Mean Girls, Gretchen, I believe her name was. I watched the movie over 50 times, easily. And Gretchen, her father, I believe, is the inventor of toaster strudels. Regardless of what it is, let's not get into the politics of it or the specifics. This is what it's giving. For some of you, very small percentage of you, about 18 to 23%, are trying to invent something new. All right? And you got it. Now, this card fell to the floor. So I always say the cards that fall to the floor are the most significant, if not the most significant. This talks about star. This reminds me of like Shark. It reminds me of like Shark Tank. Is that what it's called? It's the thing where it's like, so there's this show where it's like people go with their ideas and they either get approved for funding or they don't. And this reminds me of like you fetching ideas, you trying to create a group, you trying to create a community, or trying to create a business, trying to be innovative and having everything you need except for one thing. Only you will know what that one thing is. But it's just there's so much innovation here. There's so much innovation here. If you've watched The Great Gatsby, where the guy is like, he goes into that group. I don't remember his name. I don't know if it's Fitzgerald. I think it is. But he enters that group, that clan of people. And he's studying them. And that's what I see you kind of doing, like really studying the greats and what you do. The fact that you're a star, like, and you're starting over, like, you should not be basing what you're doing off of your past. Base it on what you want your future to look like. I'm going to repeat that. Do not base what you're doing on your past. Your past is gone, right? You're in the present here. Think about the future. Base your actions on what you want your future to be like, not your circumstances. Don't base it on your circumstances. Okay? All right. And I'm going to be using this deck to talk about what you need to know for your career in 2026. Spiritual messages. We have here Kim Kardashian West. Act like the camera's always rolling. Hold a mirror up to society and play with the filters. No topic is off limits, LLC. Okay, so this seems like the group, and I'm not here. Again, I don't like to speak about religion or politics at all, but I'm going to name some names according to what this vibe of this pile 2 is giving. It's giving Kim Kardashian. It's giving Kanye West. It's giving Donald Trump. It's giving Michelle Obama. It's giving Justin Bieber. It's giving Albert Einstein. Now, the reason why I say this, pile number 2, is because you're going into society, into a group, into a circle, into a new environment where it lived rent-free in your head first and you brought it to life. And the reason I chose those people that I chose, whether you like them or not, whether you're a fan or not, I am here to say that whether they're horrible people or they're not horrible people, they all have one thing in common. They entered circles. They were amongst great circles. They entered those circles. And they made something. They made something. They created something from scratch. And how did they do that? They studied sociology. They studied society. They studied how people interact, how they move, psychology. And it made them billionaires, millionaires. And you may be thinking like, well, how did Justin Bieber do that? I don't know why that just got in my head. If you're wondering how did Justin Bieber do that, he was like 12 when he started. And there was a whole bunch of people coming at him like, oh, a 12-year-old. And look at how he made it. It's basically, this group speaks about going from having nothing to something major. Or going from having something you worked for to becoming far greater than you ever imagined. All right. I have 2 more cards here. We have here Enzo Ferrari, which is the creator of Ferrari. And we have here Walt Disney. Okay. I'm going to take this to the extended version. You could click the link below for a very small fee. And we're going to get into this as well as more spiritual messages. Make sure that you like and subscribe if you're not choosing to go to the extended. But if you are, I'll see you there, babes. Hey, pile number 3. I hope that you are doing well, my love. Thank you so much for stopping by. We're going to go ahead and we're going to begin. So this is pile number 3. And before we continue, please make sure that you like and that you subscribe. Every time you guys like my videos, something happens within my heart. And it just makes me feel alive. Anyway. Is this my hair? I'm so sorry. That's disgusting. Who else sheds like a maniac? Like, I feel like women, well, me, I don't know. A lot of women I know, their hair literally sheds like, it's insane. Anyway, let's get into it. Pile number 3. What's 2026 going to be like for pile number 3? We have here the Knight of Cups. I feel like lately you've been feeling a bit stuck, or you've been feeling like, for example, writer's block or creative block, or you kind of have been so overstimulated with everything that's going on that you're just not sure. You're not sure about anything. Oh my. I feel like this pile, you've been going through it. I know this is a career reading. But baby girl, baby boy, you've been going through some things. You're trying to find the direction in your life. You really are. You're eager to find the direction in your life. And It feels like for this pile, you've lost friends or family, or just situations have caused some things in your heart and in your mind. And I wouldn't call it bitter, because I don't see that you are bitter, but I would say that, and it's happened to everyone, including myself, where so much happens that you're kind of like, what is the point even? Like, what is the point? Like, why am I even here? What is my reason? What is my purpose? Like, I've tried, and I feel like I keep falling down. Well, first and foremost, wow, this is going to be my deepest reading of all of the piles. I will say, if you have been between this pile and another one, you can look into that pile as well. This one is going to touch base with a lot of deep stuff, but a lot that is coming in as well. So stay tuned, because I'm fully prepared. This is amazing. Okay, so you've been through a lot. There are some friendships that are not going in to 2026 with you. There are some friendships that you think are going to make it through 2026 and will not. Some of you may have lost somebody in your family recently. Some of you may have lost someone that was near and dear to your heart. Some of you, there's a loss here. So even if it isn't a family member, it could be you were laid off. You lost an opportunity. Maybe you had to opt out of your lease and, downsize. It feels like this pile has had to deal with and feel so much disappointment in 2025, or just circumstances that were not seen. Kind of like, oh my God, I was in the list of the strongest soldiers for 2025 is what I feel like this pile is saying. And there's really no question about why you chose this. I mean, this in its essence speaks about just me channeling this. It talks about please don't mind my manicure, dude. Please don't mind it. It's gel, so I'm just waiting for these to come off, because I've been doing them myself. But you're just carefree right now, because it's like, I survived, and I think that that's enough. And I'm not saying that I, Candela, think that that's enough. No, I feel like you're kind of like, well, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to have survived. Like, I'm happy to have survived. Oh man, pile number 3. Wow. Feels like there's a lot of things, like so much disappointment in your friend groups as well. So much disappointment when it comes to love for some of you. There's disappointment here when it comes to the connections in your life. For some of you, for pile number 3, you kind of see everyone doing something, or you see like the wins. And I'm here to tell you that it's normal when you're in a situation that you feel like you're not happy about, and then you see people that are happy, and you're kind of like, well, I'm not jealous, but like, I'm happy for them. When will it be my turn, And it feels like you've tried to keep your chin up about it. You've tried to keep your chest out about it. And as much as you may front or say that it doesn't bother you, something bothers you. You feel disappointed. You're trying to be a good sport. Something has to change. Something had to change. This pile is for my babies that have gone through a death in the family and their friend group. My babies who have been laid off. My babies who have lost babies. My babies who had to branch out and leave that relationship. My babies who had to relocate or move out of the way. This is for... Ooh! Oh, honey. Whoa. Don't mind me while I drink my seltzer water. This pile reminds me that the fact that my throat literally locked up like that, some of you guys may have been silenced by an employer, by an abuser. Some of you grew up not feeling seen or not feeling supported. Some of you have been keeping to yourself and not speaking to many people. Some of you didn't have a voice or felt like you didn't have a voice. The throat chakra speaks about speaking your truth and being unapologetic about it. The throat chakra reminds you to always ask for your needs to be met. Like, yeah, you've been trying to be a good sport, but this pile, I'm going to yell at you for a second. Chase for the things that you want. I know this is a career reading as well, but even in love, like, don't give up. Do not give up. There's a reason you can't stop thinking about it. Anyway, I'm getting really emotionally attached to this. So we will move forward. You've had to be very strong. You've had to maybe see a therapist. Maybe you've been anxious. Maybe you suffer from depression, anxiety. Some of you maybe even, and I'm not saying this to like be funny or try to like poke at anybody, but there will be people here, and we respect everybody in this channel. There will be people here who have suffered and battled with schizophrenia, ADHD, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse. Let's move forward from the pain that you've endured. And let's talk about the fact that you will be ensuring a very healthy lifestyle moving forward. You're going to be eager to change the things that you're eating. You're going to be eager to start a sport, a routine, a schedule, maybe go to the gym, Pilates, yoga, kickboxing. This speaks about you finding substance in your hobbies and in books and in movies. This speaks about going through certain pains and saying, I will never go through that again, or I pray I never go through that again. You've had to be very strong. Maybe you're the eldest sibling or the youngest. There's always some sort of responsibility on both of those. This speaks a lot about like the oldest child or the youngest child. There's pros and cons that come from both being the youngest and the oldest. But this essentially speaks about a difficult path thus far. And you're starting over. And to be honest, pile number 3, you're having to place boundaries. You're having to say, don't call me after this time, or, hey, like, I'm not available during this time. There are some doors you need to close, and some things that you may have let slide in the past, you're not letting it happen anymore. Like, you're really placing terms, conditions, and rules to being in your life because you're trying to protect yourself. What? First of all, this is a career reading. What is going on? Okay, I knew there was a point. The reason I said that was because there's going to be decisions you're going to be making in your career as well as your living situation or your life in general. That's going to cause some people to be like, wait, why are you doing that? That's so unfair. That's so selfish. You're finally putting yourself first. Well, yeah, MFer. I'm supposed to be putting myself first, and I didn't for a really long time. And now you're going to make me feel bad about it? Are you crazy? That's what I'm getting. And it's so beautiful because I see you learning yourself. I see you reconstructing your personality and your energy. And I see you learning new ways to navigate life. I see you focusing so much on your mental health. Pile number 3. When it comes to your career, it feels like it's either one or two of the extremes. It's either become your entire identity, or you haven't been able to put in the effort or work that you've been wanting to based on circumstances or mental health. And soon you will find yourself in a position in 2024 that is going to align with your vision, that's going to feel like it came from favor, from the grace of God, and it happens really fast. I see February, March, and April being a time in your life, pile number 3, where everything starts to change. In the beginning of the year, January, pile number 3, you're still going to kind of be trying to figure out what works best for you, how to navigate life, how to do life, how to move forward. You're becoming someone new. You literally went through a major, major rebirth. You may change your appearance. You may be in January. You're also kind of going to still be nostalgic about the empty spaces and holes in the back of your mind of the past. But I see that you are going to kind of leave behind everything you've known when it comes to your career, and you're going to be doing something else. And to be honest with you, you're going to be in a new environment, and a circumstance, a person, or a situation is not going to get in your way. And what I mean by that is, you may feel like certain people have made comments like, oh yeah, that's fine, but I don't think that's for you. Or there'll be those situations where you're kind of like, oh, well, I wouldn't be able to because that person knows that person. They probably spoke badly about me. They probably closed off, that opportunity for me. No one can get in the way of this opportunity that's coming towards you, by the way. No one is going to get in the way of that because you're going above them. You're going above them. It's like when you go to a store and you have an issue and, everyone's like, well, you need to figure it out. And then the person goes, no, well, let me speak to your manager. Let me speak to the boss. And that's what you're doing. It's kind of like, oh, you think I won't. You think I'm not going to. But watch this. You thought that you were stopping the show. But watch this. There goes that rebirth. The rebirth shows up June through July. Pile number 3. The rebirth shows up June through July. I see you saving money. I see you focusing on either your home, purchasing a home, or what the hell? Or simple. Look at that. That's that tower moment. That's that rebirth. But it speaks about creating a home. Not only creating a home within yourself, but investing in a home, investing in a new place, whether you have a family or a person or not. There's this energy in 2026 about the fact that you're going to be crossing out all different types of goals off of your list. And although sometimes it'll feel like, oh, well, that was such a mediocre goal. Like, oh, I branched out and I left my parents' house, or, oh, I finally got my own apartment, or, oh yeah, well, I finally did this. It's like, no, you did it when it was meant for you. Don't ever feel like you can't celebrate a win just because you feel like it doesn't rank in the listing of wins. Like, don't do that. This speaks about completion. You leaving so many things behind. For some of you guys, you're going to be leaving behind a position you've known forever. Leaving behind, if you worked in accounting, you're going to be leaving behind accounting. You're going to be branching out into something else. If you've worked as a loan officer, you're going to leave it behind and you're going to go and do something else, like you're leaving behind a specific occupation or position because you feel like you want more for yourself. Now, not for all of you, but for some of you, you are waiting to receive a settlement or some sort of money. And that money is, I'm getting a yes. You're going to be very, very fulfilled. Pile number 3, your fulfillment will be coming in from loving yourself and in turn, loving what you do. When you love you and you love what you do, everything turns out in your favor. It feels like you're either going to be changing your number, going private on social media, or creating like a personal page for yourself, pile number 3, where it's like you don't really want any outsiders. You're not really into making too many new friends. You're kind of really focused on yourself. You've been through a lot socially and in your connections. So now you're finding the light within. And to be honest with you, pile number 3, you're pouring into yourself in a way where you're starting to feel worthy. You're starting to love on yourself. And because of that, this confidence radiates in you changing certain things in your life. And again, to be honest with you, there's people that are around you or people that are from your past that you've let go of that don't believe that you'll win. And that's why I say with this pile, it's like one monkey don't stop the show. It's a very, very known phrase. And it's like one monkey does not stop the show. The circus, right? In the circus, whatever. One person is not going to stop your wins. It's just not going to happen. It doesn't matter if they believe in you or not. This could be an old best friend. This could be old best friends. It could be an old friend. It could be an old lover. It could be an old boss. People that are going to be watching you from a distance, maybe even a scorned ex. We're kind of like, pile number 3 is not going to do anything with their life. It's like, okay, you underestimated me greatly. And that's why I'm on one. So the second I knew something good was coming. The second half of the year, starting in June, because I feel like from January to June, you're going to be recalibrating, really, really focused on yourself. But starting from like June, July, we have that devil here. And the devil in tarot doesn't mean what you think it means. It speaks about releasing old toxic cycles, but it also has you on go. Like, oh, you underestimated me? Bet. We're on one. I'm on one. I'm going to show you how much of a winner I actually am. Oh, you thought that you leaving me for someone else? Okay, bet. Watch this. Oh, you thought that laying me off because okay, you'll see. There's a lot of people that underestimate you, pile 3. And that in itself, my love, should be all of the MF and motivation that you need to stomp on their necks with pressure. Not literally, obviously. But like apply that pressure because you got it going on. You'll be celebrating with new people in new places. You're going to be traveling. You're going to be seeing the world from a different perspective. And they're going to be seeing you live, boo. You survived. And not only did you survive, you prospered after you survived. Wow. Pile number 3, you've touched my heart, my love. You have touched my heart, my love. This is insane. We're going to be using this deck in order to get messages about your career as well as spiritual messages. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, pile number 3. We have here Calvin Klein, poo. Take risks and have a press statement ready. Find real meaning in innuendo and outrage into art form. I'm sorry, not out form. Outrage into art form. It speaks about not caring what people have to say. It speaks about, okay, you want to box me in? Well, out of that box, I'm going to create something major that's going to change something. I'm going to be the reason why certain things happen, and you're going to have to hear about it because you counted me out. You didn't think I was worthy. And you know what? You didn't think I was worthy because I didn't think I was. But now I am. I see my worth. And you can't box me in, or in this case, bottle me in. I'm taking risks, and you're going to have to see me fly. And pile number 3, whether you believe it or not, you work very well under pressure. I feel like you've been playing around, or you've been kind of like keeping it safe. You don't want to hurt any feelings, or you don't want to like surpass people or dim other people's light. Baby, you're that. You are that. Sign your name on the dotted curve. So you're going to be making promises to yourself. You're making promises to yourself. You're going to be moving forward. Some people will not believe in you, and that's okay. When it comes to your career, maybe you're gonna fetch certain ideas, or you're gonna tell people what you need, and they're kind of like, I can't do that. Well, you're gonna leave that behind, and you're gonna go towards what you're meant for, the environments you're meant for. See, you haven't been asking for the wrong things. You've been asking the wrong environments and the wrong people. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. We're going to get into the extended version. We're going to talk about all the spirit messages that you need to know. And I'll see you there. The link is below for a very small price. If you don't want to, I will see you in the next read. God bless you, my love.